everybody stretch and get ready for some shenanigans. One, I think we're live. And my thumb's bleeding. For real. We're live.
Oh, man.
John says we're live. That is it. We are here. Oh, my God. It's been since August since we've gotten together. We've tried a few times. We've had people asking if this series is going to continue. So for those of you who asked that question, yeah, at least one more, because here we are.
Back.
Oh, man. So I'm going to start with Byron. We got some announcements and shit going on. Byron, how are you, man?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Trying to get in with my new setup here, new desk and everything, rearranged my mic. Hopefully my audio is greatly improved.
Your dulcet tones are perfect. Sounds good.
Awesome. But yeah, we got cool stuff going on. Getting to the end of the Night's Black Agents campaign. It is ramping up like an action movie should be. And hopefully, I don't know. I don't think I've killed anybody yet. I'm pretty sure Jason might be a vampire, but I'm not really sure. He did give his heart and soul to Elizabeth Bathory, but
I chewed
you guys will have to watch this. You'll have to watch this stream for the details. You know, good. Now that Night's Black Agents is at 22 episodes and the longest running campaign on Miss Brigade.
That's right. That's absolutely
crazy.
Yeah.
Only because we haven't played this game since August, though. So
it's okay. I'll take it. You keep saying it's going to be over, but I don't want to admit it because I love this character, especially once he starts sprouting the fangs all the time, scaring people. Cool. We're glad to have you here. You said you're going to be doing a little something new on the other side of that. What did you say you were going to be doing?
Maybe, I don't want to overshadow what we got going on. So
Pokemon,
but I heard that there were some knights and stuff going to be possibly playing.
That's right.
Maybe.
I'm excited. That's cool. And then, you can also find Byron on the superhero thing, Vile Dawn, which is turning out to be really, really fun but warped. And I think we're going to come back to that first Tuesday or something, I don't know.
January 9th.
January 9th. Yeah, that's not even a Tuesday.
Sunday, January 9th.
Okay. That's not a Tuesday. Cool.
It
We're
is
glad
not.
you're here. John, you're wearing all white.
Hello.
Matching headset, ready to go. Stormtrooper mode. What's happening?
Ready. Wow. Let's see. A few things since we last played this. Got married, so that was cool. Did that. Check. And then also raised so far $6,075 for Extra Life this year, which has been by far and away the most we've done every year. We keep passing, so going to try to figure out what to do next year. Thinking about growing the hair out long, shaving it, and donating it. So that's the top idea so far for 2022. But yeah, everything's great.
Can you please share with the stream who was the craziest and most unexpected guest at your wedding?
My wife surprised me with stormtroopers and Boba Fett from the Imperial 501st. I was about ready to give a speech. She took the mic out of my hand. I was thoroughly confused. Her and the day of planner were the only people that knew about it, and they were at the wedding. So all the lightsabers came out. Those were already from pictures, and it turned into quite a shindig for sure.
That's awesome.
So, it was awesome.
Very
Amazing.
Cool. Hard to top, and she did it on purpose too. So hats off to her.
Never going to be able to beat that.
Yes, awesome. Congratulations from all of us to you. Len, my God, it's good to see you. Your lighting's changed. What's going on?
New digs, new job, better digs. And that's pretty much the summation of it. I'm in the middle of a visit from my sister who's been living in South Korea.
Oh, nice.
I should always preface that.
I was going to say you wouldn't have gotten her out of there if she was in the north.
Yeah, no. So she's been living overseas for a couple of years now, ever since I moved out of LA. So this is the first visit that we've had in like 2 years. So it's been nice to just catch up. But other than that, just settling into the new apartment and new job and just kind of taking it easy, putting my life back together and hopefully figuring out a new schedule for some games that I want to run, maybe pick back up again. Nothing solid, but a girl can dream.
Oh, I'm ready to go whenever you need me. I'm ready to swing a sword and kill that little fucking goblin. That's what
I have so much prep done for that.
Either one of two things. I either want to see what's down the well, and as long as I do that, you can kill me, and we can then start a new campaign. So even if it's a solo thing, and like Matt's character and Tyler's character bail on me, I gotta know. It's probably lots of treasure.
Just a one shot where I kill all of you.
No, that's so
Tyler,
good. I miss
Tyler
it.
cries about that game not being going on every week, so I'm pretty sure he's not bending you.
I'm right there. Awesome. Well, welcome, Mr. Mike. What's going on with you? You seem to have. There's more going on. What's happened with you, man?
Yeah. The Estes clan has gotten a little bit bigger. I didn't have my second daughter. My wife had her second daughter in September, and so our hands have been pretty full handling the little one and my daughter, my older daughter, adjusting to being a big sister, and so that's been a lot of fun. That's really been the biggest change in the last few months.
That is awesome, and it's Brooke, right? Is the
that's right?
The wee one's name.
River and Brooke.
The youngest myth brigadier, honorary brigadier just yet, until she can roll dice and it's not a choking hazard to her anymore. But we can't wait for her to join one day.
Absolutely.
That is very cool. All right, so this is going to be weird because we usually don't. Two things we usually don't do. This is not true. We have long gaps, but we usually deal with those long gaps by, ending in a smart spot. Last time we didn't end in a smart spot, so I'm going to find some music and get this thing going real quickly because it's too quiet. Let's see if we can get some copyright claims going on here. All right. You guys remember everything that happened? All the little details?
I remember there was garlic on the table.
Yes,
remember we had just killed Reverend Maggot, and we were about to ride off into the sunset. Wasn't that it?
Pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, even looking at my notes, I'm like, I don't remember writing any of these things. So I think a quick recap would be helpful.
What better image could there be for the last Myth Brigade session of the year? Sun's fallen over Maggot Gap. The burning pastels melted into the horizon as the coyotes lifted their head in a mournful song, half as sad as the sand maggot song, if you recall. You'll remember a few other things from last time we met. You'd left Silver Pete with a promise to one day return and help him with his search for the lode that dreams are made out of. You did so while you were drunk on his moonshine, made out of God knows what. You toted the mother of all sand maggots back through the desert on a half-broken wagon and were greeted by a hooting and hollering crowd of locals. We're pretty excited about your achievement. The honorable Reverend Matthews was tickled as a wild hare in tall grass. He paid $25 on the $20 bet he'd made with Dobbs, of which Dobbs promptly refunded $5 along with a hawker in his own special way. A couple of days in R&R ensued as word of your posse success spread. You did some performances, made a little bit of money on gambling. Things were really looking up. That wasn't until dinner. Now you found yourself sitting there with the Reverend Matthews and a handful of his closest friends from here in Maggot Gap. Oh, and of course, a bit of a perimeter of his henchmen, the toughs to keep the rest of the townsfolk out. You were having a nice dinner there on the cliff's edge overlooking this sort of dry riverbed. And y'all were having a rousing conversation, friendly as could be, till he looked you in the eye and explained to you, I need that fucking map. You hear hammers from guns around being cocked. We forgot our yeehaw. Let's take a break and get that in, because we need to get the energy flowing. Let's get it all right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Okay. So click, click, click. Hammers come back on revolvers around you. These folks are facing out, but you do notice they're aware of what's going on. The Reverend, or the Mayor, as it were, is leaning forward. He doesn't seem to be armed, but he's gripping his napkin real tight, and he's got a fork that he's bent with his other hand. How do you guys react to that? Dobbs, I think you and he were having a conversation, I think, when this began.
I believe it was something like that.
Yep.
So, I mean, if I hear all the hammers cock, I think that's going to be, a sign. I was like, I already still am a bit tired from killing the sand maggot, and like it really wouldn't be good for my shoulder to have to beat the piss out of all of you today. So, can we just calm this down?
As you say that, give me a notice check for those who weren't speaking. Looks like I'm having to reload roll 20 on the stream side, so that's wonderful. That's a good start. So we got 1 and 2. So Nate, ever the watchful eye, and he probably even more so Ash, because you've just been watching this real closely. You notice, Ash, that if you can see the map, I think mine finally loaded over here. Sitting across from you here, you're sitting. I don't know if you see the difference in which one's the doctor here. Let me get this zoomed in so I can see what the hell's going on. So, Ash, you were here. The doctor, if you recall, was sitting here because he kind of squeezed your leg to indicate that something was about to go down. John, I put you here. Don't know where you'd like to have yourself seated. But the rest of these folks are just general sort of aristocrat types. And, of course, the mayor is this mayor of Mayberry. You notice, Ash,
real quick.
Yep.
The stream is seeing part of the map. It's not seeing the actual
I got to
people.
fix that.
The stream is seeing.
Yeah, that's the thing that was having trouble loading, so I'll fix that while I'm talking.
Got it.
This,
right, cool. No problem.
Yep. Thank you for pointing that out, because I might have gone on the whole stream, realized that during edit. Okay. So the mayor, as he's there, he's squeezing this fork, and you notice in his neck area, it's kind of bubbling, almost like a frog, but kind of uneven, little pustules kind of starting to form there. That's what you notice, Ash. John, you notice that the lady sitting right across from you, or I'm sorry, Nate, notices that this lady sitting here is starting to kind of mess with the bust of her dress, and she pulls it down a little bit, and you see her chest is starting to throb with little some motion under the skin there as well. And making a noise like that, just a little something. How do you guys react to that?
Nate is gonna grab his cane that's in his hand already and sort of squeeze the handle tightly as he leans back in his chair, sort of distancing himself from what's happening at the table.
Okay, so you do that. You notice, and just to remind you that there were these flutes of champagne. Some of it looked normal, and then, of course, some of it was sort of glowing. And the ones that have consumed the glowing stuff seem to be the ones who are going or whatever. So you notice this, Dobbs. As you say that, the Reverend leans in. This doesn't have to get ugly, son. I just need the map. Trouble is, I know where it is, and you're going to have to give it to me in a way that's going to be most uncomfortable. And he pushes his chair out. You hear bones cracking as he moves, like, and you, Ash, being, again, kind of well aware of what's going on with him, you notice his spine shifting slightly, awkwardly.
I have a very important question. Yeah. I don't remember, and I'm so sorry.
I know what you're going to ask.
Were we disarmed prior to coming in here?
We agreed you guys could have any kind of handguns. You could have stowed them. Like, there was enough trust there, and maybe, but no rifles or ghost rock grenades or anything crazy.
But I've got my 2 pistols.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are out so fast. As soon as he gets up, they're just out.
Okay. So you draw your weapons as he stands. Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
You see Ash kind of getting her 6 guns out. What do you do?
Well, how long is this table? Is this like?
Jeez, man, I'm gonna say.
Side. Never mind that question. It wasn't where I thought it was on the map, so I was looking at the wrong token.
You were.
Amazingly enough, I forgot what token was mine in the last 7 months.
Oh, gotcha.
So let's see here. So
I need to update yours with lens, Dobbs, as well. Got to fix that.
Well, I guess this is getting nothing but ugly. So I'm gonna basically stand up and point at the Reverend with my arm, but I'm like more pointing through the woman next to me, you know, as she's messing with her bosom. And as I'm pointing, I'm like, well, I think it's just too late for that. And that's when I'm gonna activate Jennifer, and hopefully it will spear right into the woman next to me.
Okay, it's gonna be like that. All right, so I will give you the first action there without before we get into initiative. Go ahead and give your fighting roll, please.
But I did try to talk and not have to just try to kill somebody right off the bat.
She's somewhat aware.
I have missed Dob so much.
Yeah, she's somewhat aware. She's somewhat aware of what's going on. But so her parry is going to be a 7. So see what you get with Jennifer with your fighting roll.
Roll 20's being a little slow.
Okay, so I've got a 2 and a 1. Is that right?
Oh, that's terrible.
You gonna let that stand, or you gonna spend a Benny?
I think I'll spend a Benny, one of the 2 that I get.
Yeah, I need to deal. So I'm gonna give you all 2. And if you guys want to draw your additional, come on now.
That's better, but not good enough.
Go ahead and draw your bennies, guys. Just draw up to your maximum. Yeah, so that will actually do it, though. So you're looking for 4 to succeed. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, that's not true. You're looking for 7.
Yeah, 7, right?
Yep. So you do this, and just you kind of hit her in the neck as her throat's kind of puffing out like a frog. Jennifer goes right through this mass of flesh, and just all this green ichor just as you rip it open, and she's just like and looks at you. You see her eyes kind of bulging out in a very strange way. Her skin is starting to sag off of her body as she sheds her former self like a sack. Hang on a second, let me show you what.
That's amazing.
Is that what you say? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That's nice. Sometimes I throw off the blanket when I'm too hot too.
You gotta stop. I'm not prepared for this. Oh man. Okay. So I don't know if you want to zoom in and see what you see. So it's like this giant kind of half maggot larva creature, right? That we see there. So she kind of hisses at you as the skin sort of sags off of her shoulder, but she's unable to attack just yet because she is still in the midst of transformation. This also happens with this kind gentleman here, so we'll get rid of him. And so Nate, you're obviously fixated on what's going on over between Dobbs and this other guy, who himself seems to have a little bit of indigestion. But you're not sure what's going on. Maybe he wasn't one of the ones that got this stuff. You see what Dobbs does, and then you hear this noise next to you, at which point this guy literally just reaches in and like puts his fingers into his rib cage and just rips his skin open. Just he's transforming as well. Ash. Actually, we haven't talked to John. So John, what do? This is happening right next to you and across from you.
I'm overhearing. I'm trying not to, make any undue comments with the Reverend. So I just imagine I'm kind of like mid-bite, trying to be semi-polite, paying attention, mid-bite, when suddenly guns go up and I see the lady across from me just get Jennifered and then turn into some sort of creature. So I'm going to drop what I was eating. Not quite get a full bite there. And I'm going to draw my guns as soon as possible at that point. Okay. I imagine I'm slightly delayed on that, though, because there's a lot going on in my head at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. All generally free action, so you spend your time kind of getting ready for next round. The doctor at this point looks over at you, and you, Ash, you feel something bump up against your leg, and it appears to be a sack. You're not sure what's in it. But he has pushed something into your leg. So we will actually start initiative, and I'm going to have to add some turns here, so give me a moment. As your combatants join. Oh yeah, and then there's this situation as well. So I just realized that he was already there. It's funny. He's just like sitting behind him. Oops. Spoiler alert. So if you've ever seen From Beyond, right, the H.R. Geiger, or no, H.P. Lovecraft, I'm saying H.R. Geiger, H.P. Lovecraft story adopted a movie. There's this situation where this, like, I don't know, like fleshy centipede creature thing happens. That is exactly what the Reverend turns into, as his muscle mass just kind of rips through his clothes. And he extends to an impossible height. He's about 8 feet tall, all told. Still thin and weird and gaunt and ribby, but yeah, he's extending. That's his action for the round. And I think that'll do it. Let me give you guys some initiative. Come on now. There we go.
As a note, it doesn't seem like we can draw bennies. We can only draw cards, but
Oh, that's
I'm just making
Yeah.
a note
Yeah, okay.
of how many bennies we have.
Yeah, okay.
All good.
I'll fix that in a second. All right, so Dobbs, you are up first. So what we see here is... Wait a minute. Why did they not order for me? Hang on. Wrong. So up first is Mayor Maggot. Mayor Maggot is going to jump up onto the table with this gurgling sound. He basically shattered his chair, and just without any regard for Ash whatsoever, furious with Dobbs, just goes scrambling towards you and is going to make an attack. So what is your parry? What are we attacking against here?
My parry is an 8.
Okay. He is going to spend a Benny because that's dumb. So let's see as he comes in.
Can he spend a Benny because he rolled a 1 on his D10?
He did not roll a. He is a wild card. He did not roll a Snake Eyes. So yes, he can.
Okay, Snake Eyes is it.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing to me, Nate?
I clicked the wrong button. I always click the button to try to open it, and it's not the right one. So ignore that.
What did you say your parry was?
8.
8. So he will actually manage to. Yeah, he'll manage to hit you. The first kind of swipe, this sort of failed roll there with the Benny, he just kind of drags his knuckles and knocks all the sort of the flatware and the glass out from in front of you, and then he just swipes across. This is the first thing something's really bothered you in a while, and he is going to do. Didn't wire this up as an attack, so we'll do strength in 3. Jeez, so he's going to ace on that, so he's going to do 20? 23 damage. I'm guessing that beats toughness.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know with Dobbs sometimes, man. Okay.
I think you know his toughness is not 23.
Yeah, so as this thing basically swats you, you feel this, you just hear this whee in your ears. You hit the ground. You are currently shaken. Now, you can spend a Benny to remove shaken immediately, but still you're shaken at this moment. Or you can let it play out later and see how that works out for you. You can try to roll to uncover that.
Oh, nice.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm sorry. I have an option to do something.
Yep, you can.
I'm up next.
If you would like to spend a Benny right away, then it just negates the shaken. Otherwise, you have to roll at the beginning of your next turn.
You know, I think it would be more cinematic if Dobbs was just to be shaken at this point.
Okay, so he knocks. You see this, guys. You see this giant thing jump up on the table, backhand Dobbs out of the chair, and then kind of looks back at the rest of you. It's clear in his eyes he probably doesn't want to take out Dobbs because Dobbs is the map. Nate, it's right next to you. However, Larva Woman who is spewing, I think I'm going to skip this one. This person who was Jennifer'd, because I think she's still gargling her own ichor. Yeah, exactly. However, this one turns and is going to actually attack Mr. John with your weapon at the ready. I think she's going to claw slash you. Let's see how that works out. No. So you see this thing turn, and protruding where her hand would be with like degloved, think of it that way, and the hand's kind of folded back, she's got this really gnarly 3-pronged claw. She tries to swipe it across you, but you're deft enough to move out of the way. Nate, you're up. What do we do?
So Nate is sort of leaning back in his chair. He's got his cane in his hand right here as he's watching everything go on. And this monster comes running across the table and just rings Dobbs' bell. Nate puts a boot up at the edge of the table and shoves his chair back as he swings up his cane and he turns the handle to the left.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm going to do much, but...
You're at point blank range. It's going to +2 to hit there. So you will actually hit. So you lean back and the shot goes in. What's your... wait, hang on a second. What am I looking at here? That's a damage roll.
I have to roll the hit first. I have to do the hit first.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you can set it up in the character sheet to do both too if you want. So I'll let you, I guess we'll see what you roll. It's a shooting roll.
I don't attack very often.
All right, so that's not going to do it.
My shooting roll is going to miss. Yeah. Can I spend a Benny to try again?
You sure can.
All right, let's try that again.
Ooh, not much better. So you blast. Now with a shotgun, as we
Point
all
blank,
know.
though?
Point blank, you get +2. So you're right. The wild, that's a good call, John. Thank you for that. So yeah, point blank, +2. You're going to be around a 5. So you hit him. Give me that damage roll. We'll take that one. Original one was 3. All right.
Yep.
So you hit it, and you see the shot just kind of bury itself in this thing's rubbery flesh, and it bleeds a little, but only a little, and it doesn't really react. You're just like, and its side kind of smushes in, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Sadly.
Yeah, it was definitely to distract and not to kill, obviously.
Yes. Now, you definitely do that. It kind of glances over at you immediately, taking its eyes off of Dobbs. John, you're up next. What do you do?
So I imagine myself kind of just eating, getting my gun out barely with this claw coming at me. So I'm just more of kind of leaning back and just still in my seat, just pointing the gun immediately to my right and pulling the trigger.
Okay. Immediately to your right. That would be point blank as well. And you're going to hit. So give me that damage. Whoa, that's better.
Ow.
Yeah. So this critter's toughness is actually 7. So you shoot, and you see kind of this spray come out of its side and kind of hit the post of this gazebo thing that you're under, and it definitely is going to be shaken, but it doesn't necessarily seem to be terribly wounded. It's like you might have hit it with a bit of a flesh wound. Ash, you are up next. Unless anybody wants to move, by the way, you are more than welcome to move around.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of do that and just kind of almost like Nate, just kind of keep backing up, like shoot, and then just kind of push back.
Okay.
And then stand up just kind of more of like a 5-foot back, just to give some breathing room there.
Got it.
Yeah, Nate slid back in his chair, and no more than 5 feet, but he definitely slid back as he shot.
Yep. Ash, you're up next. All hell's breaking loose around you. You don't even know how to describe this. What do you do?
I guess I quickly checked to see what I just got handed on the down low.
So there is a sack there, and it does contain your explosives.
He's such a good friend. Ash will... I think that first and foremost, so sees the explosives, gets excited about that, but then realizes that things are very bad here, and is just going to unload a few rounds into this big guy,
okay.
Seeing as that seems to be the most pressing issue.
Yep. And you can fire multiple times if you want. It's -2 progressively.
So I'll do one. She'll probably take one shot with each of her pistols.
Okay.
So there's one. That is my rifle. I don't know.
And you're at a range that you're going to get plus. Wow, holy. All right, so you'll get your bonus damage for sure there. Go ahead and roll damage for that first shot. Nice. And let's have the second one before I tell you what's going on with this guy.
Okay. Second one, not as elegant. So 6 with a -2.
Yeah. So the second one would still hit. Actually, go ahead and give me straight damage.
Just 11, I think.
And so he's actually going to attempt to soak. Because that actually would have him wounded. And that sucks. He does not soak. So you shoot him. The first time, and kind of both of these shots are in the back. He stiffens and lets out this really horrible howl. The second shot gets a little more fluidy and throaty as he struggles. He's still up and probably is still going to be a bit of a nuisance. But you've definitely shown him that you can hurt him. Do you want to move or what?
Yeah, I think that she'll just sort of tuck one of her pistols away and grab the pouch, if that's within my action economy.
I think so.
And then just 5. Are we on the ground or is this a balcony? I forgot.
You're under a sort of a gazebo. So the about 10 feet up, there's sort of like a white wood roof, with like sort of green tile ceiling sort of thing, like northeastern kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are wood columns.
Okay. Could I position myself like over here and still have a view into the gazebo if I peek around?
You sure can, absolutely, and it would give you a little bit of cover, although it would expose you to these guys, which you'll realize actually at this point what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're moving
definitely wants to get away from the big guy, and then realizes that we are super surrounded.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my move.
Okay, so this guy, being that he is shaken and not doing particularly well at this moment, thanks to Ash's crazy damage. He is going to try to unshake. Come on, roll 20. Yes, okay. So Ash shoots and runs. Nate, you being the closest one and seeing this thing's face, as he kind of lets out this noise, at which point the henchmen start moving in. He kind of bends over and then just shakes his head he's just literally shakes it off, and he is going to press forward and attack you. So
time to meet Teddy.
Come on, roll 20. It is running really slow today, isn't it? Or just not at all.
Got a lag on.
Jeez, okay. I'm going to take the first one. Sorry. I was spam clicking. So he's actually going to roll a 1. He spent a couple Benny. He's going to stay down with that. Although his wild die would be a 4. What is your parry, Nate?
A 4.
4. Okay. So he does actually hit you. That's not so good.
That's not good at all. No.
Yeah. So he's going to do 4 damage. What's your toughness?
8.
So he swats the heck out of you, but it's kind of as you're going back in your chair. How does that work out that you don't get knocked out? What does the camera see?
Yeah, so Nate shoots it back as he uses his cane, and his feet are kind of up in the air. And so as he swats, he catches the heels of my boot and sort of spins me around and maybe tumble out of the chair, but he doesn't make full contact.
Right on. I like that. Cool. He seems very frustrated, but happy enough that he's got you on the definite defense at this point. He's going to then, I think he's going to stay where he's at. No, he's not. He's going to move and try to get some cover because he's smart. This one, so the pus bucket that was next to Dobbs. So Dobbs, you were knocked out of your chair. Did we miss you in initiative, or you got Jennifer, right? Because you got the first action.
I don't.
And then you were shaken. Why didn't you come up in initiative? You should have been after Ash.
I'm sorry.
You should have been after Ash and skipped you.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so to unshake then, since I've never been shaken before.
Yep. If you just check your character sheet, there's an unshake button.
Unshake button, right?
Yeah. But it's a spirit roll, basically. But
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, so unshook. That's fine. All right, so is this table have like 4 legs on the corners?
It has
or
4
does this
legs
table
on the corners.
have like a big base down the middle?
No, it's got 4 legs on the corners and then 2 sort of in the middle that are awkwardly between John's legs. He would have probably told you that at some point during dinner. What do you do?
Okay. So, how far can I actually move?
Depends on what
squares?
So it's basically your movement's in inches, which basically squares an inch. So 6 usually. Plus your running die. If you're trying to run in combat, you can run your running die, and that's how far you extend it.
Well, I'm not really trying to run, but I don't. Where's movement at on the character sheet?
I
never do these things.
I don't know on this character sheet, to be honest. It's probably 6 unless you have some kind of edge.
I don't have anything that makes me go faster. Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's under pace. So
pace, that's right. Yep, 6.
Pace,
and then you have them on.
Oh, there it is. 6. All right,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what I am going to attempt to do is basically come around here and push the table towards Nate and the guy in an attempt to basically force him off the cliff. And use it like a battering ram.
Okay.
And I'm going to hope that Nate can pull and tuck and go right underneath the table.
Got it. I'm going to ask for an athletics check, or you could do agility at negative. I'll be sparing. I'll say -1. And the reason is you got to get past this. Okay. So the adrenaline, the adrenaline takes you, and I'm thinking you probably shoulder into this larva creature that's now recovered and ready to attack. The thing is, the guy next to her, it isn't changing, and there's some kind of scuffle going on there, but you shoulder past, you put your hands on the table. Give me a strength check, please. I'm looking for a pretty solid success to move it that fast. So you do move it, but if you think about physics, it's heavy, right? And it's on brick, and so you're gaining momentum. First thing you encounter is Nate's chair, which is turned over. Nate, you start to see this chair kind of moving your way. The guy obviously sees it. You're going to push it about 10 feet with that, I think. So basically two full squares in this round, and you are moving. So I'm going to give him, he does have dodge. I'm going to give him an agility roll when it's his turn, and we'll see if he impacts the table. Nate, what are you going to do when this table runs you over?
So I'm on my ass, legs up, where he's kind of spun me out of my chair. At this point, with a little bit of wiggling, I probably could get myself in between the legs, but I don't know. I wouldn't be able to roll out of the way or anything like that. I'm certainly not that agile.
Yeah, and if you did, you might be rolling into the bad guy. You sense he's there. You can see his spindly, weird legs, and there's like bits of his old flesh suit dropping down on the ground and such.
Right.
You want to try to scoot?
Yeah, I would probably try to stay low and try to stay under it rather than try to climb over it or jump out of the way.
Okay, let's do athletics.
You get at it.
Damn.
11.
So the wild die saves you with an 11. So you roll, you kind of tuck and roll. You still got your cane, and those the legs just go right over you, and it kind of pushes your chair off to the side, and it's making a hellish racket, just kind of grinding against the stone. So yeah, it does in fact clear you. Now that's going to take your action though for this round, Nate, because now you're under there. Unless you have something else in mind, you're going to try to roll out one of the sides or something.
No, that's great. I think Nate's a little bit caught off guard right now,
okay.
And so he's going to need a second to sort of gather his thoughts before he makes his next action.
Got it. So I just realized that was separate, so I can do that.
Hell right.
Yeah. And then ultimately I'll lose you guys. I won't be able to find you. You'll be underneath there. So Dobbs, you're kind of moving this along, pushing it very quickly. He'll get a chance to act when it's his turn. Come back to John. What are you doing, John?
I feel like the mayor's being handled in an appropriate way for the group. So I'm going to throw a single bolt, just more of a judging or a impact of it, against the maggot creature right in front of me there, and we will see if this is more effective than a gun, perhaps, is my hope.
So your bolts with a 6, so you do hit, and then 5 damage. So get my that's Mayor Maggot.
So gun's still in the right hand, left hand. I kind of like make a card appear and just charge it up and throw it at her pretty point blank.
Yep, you wing it,
hoping that it's impactful.
You hit it, but it seems just shy. It sizzles on the surface of her skin. You see a little bit of a blemish there, and a superficial wound appears. But actually, is it the lady or the dude that you're attacking? This one right here next to you.
That one right there.
Yeah. So not wounded yet, pretty fresh for the most part, and just kind of hisses and turns and looks at you like, okay, it's on. And so you two will you will have a tussle. Any further action or movement?
No, that's all I'm gonna do.
Ash, you are up next.
These guys look like they're about to come for me, yes?
It appears as if they're moving in. And the thing I wanted to point out, too, is your friend here, Chen. You notice... actually, give me a notice roll. Let me see if you do notice or not. You notice that it's him. You can't miss him. He seems very conflicted. He's looking between these guys, and he's looking at you. You don't know what to do with that. It's like a split second that you notice it.
I am going to do something a little maybe risky to see if he'll come over to our side, but I will level my revolver almost as if I'm aiming at him, but then I'm going to take a shot at the guy directly behind him.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, so the first thing you notice as you're rolling that, you aim it toward him, and his eyes get huge because he knows what you're capable of. He's just suddenly like, whoa, and he gets in that sort of quick stance that he does when the shit hits the fan. Give me that roll.
Oof, not my best shot.
Not your best shot, but it's okay. It's good enough for the ball game. So you hit him, and I need to get... And this character sheet up, yep. Ooh, yikes. So, sadly, for this guy, before I even got the character sheet open, Len, come on now. I'm going to need it for all the others, though, because they're pretty much the same. In a second, let me pop it out. So you take aim, you fire, and I picture there's this sort of cinematic moment where the bullet flies over this, over Chen's shoulder and just tags this guy right where. You tell me he dies, but make it good. Where does it hit him?
I think it's a classic, like, Wild West dead shot, right? Like, I aim, it looks like I'm aiming at Chen, and then I just go, like, a hair to the left, and I hit him right between the eyes. Yeah,
and so, but it's more Buster Scruggs, so there's a lot of brain and stuff that comes out of the back of his head, and his hat stays on until he hits the ground, and it kind of just flop, 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 flop. So yeah, you shoot him, and there's this moment where Chen's kind of posed, right? He's ready to take it on. He's got his knives and all that, and he kind of looks over his shoulder very slowly, and then snaps back to you. Kind of does one of these, and nods. Give me a persuasion.
I give him another nod, and I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not finished. Give me a persuasion roll to see what the nod's about.
Oh no, I'm so bad at this.
You got bennies.
Oh, not today.
Oh, not today, wow. Satan. Look at that. Okay, so you succeed. The nod is absolutely yes. And I'm gonna say that Len, you're gonna control Chen's actions. You'll let me know what he needs to do. I almost made Chen too skinny there. Okay, much better. So he kind of comes running over this direction. Any movement, or I think that's probably enough for you, huh? Troublemaker.
Yeah, I stay where I am.
Okay. Dobbs, I skipped you before, so I brought you in this at the beginning of this round to make up for last turn, so I'm going to come back to you. This is where you would be in this round for initiative. So what do you do now? Just keep pushing?
I'm going to follow through with what I was doing. I'm trying to basically shoot the gap between the pillars and hit Mayor Maggot and send him to his little fiery grave on the other side of that cliff.
Okay. So,
or if anything, take him out of the picture for a minute.
No worries. So, okay, give me that strength roll. I think that's probably about, or athletics actually. I think maybe that's better, Byron.
I'll take either one. It don't matter.
Yeah. So you shove this thing forward. I'm gonna take the athletics and the wild die with a 4. You shove this forward, and you're kind of getting it past the pillars. This thing looks up. It is wounded, right? It's bleeding from the gunshots that Ash put in its back, but it's recovered and it's really angry. And you notice what's interesting. There's something animalistic about it, and it's like, and it's looking under the table, like it's not really paying attention to what's going on. And you do, in fact, trap its head under the table, right? So it's kind of like you get the 4 legs behind it, and you push it. I'm going to do an opposed strength check. If you win, then he may go over the side. What's Dobbs got against a 9?
Off one. I don't know. I'm gonna need to explode this baby.
Oh, you got bennies? You gonna let it stand? You gonna let him win?
I got 1. That's it.
It's up to you.
Do it.
I should. Yeah, you know what?
When else are you gonna use it?
Benny for the win.
Nice.
Benny for the win.
And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you a Benny. I should have, as a good GM, I should have given you a Benny for the Jennifer move because that was pretty classic. So you'll stick at 1. Yeah. So you're pushing at a certain rate, and as soon as you feel him pushing back, tell me what's it like.
I just remembers that time that he had to drag the wagon when the horse died, and it was full of bricks, and so he just pulls it like a strong man pulling a train. And just pushes it as hard as he can.
You do, and there's this the camera behind the fiend, right, with its weird like claws and dew claw digging into the earth and this kind of sandy, scrubby ground, and it holds on and holds on, and it's trying to push back, and it literally just slips, and you hear, Hurr! You push it over the side. As you had hoped.
All aboard.
Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, Dobbs. I'm gonna put Dobbs where Dobbs would be. All right. So that's. I'm gonna say that's probably your action. Do you agree? Yeah.
And if I can, I'm gonna push the table completely over the edge.
Yeah, I think you probably could. Let me just do that. I didn't prepare for the table to look smashed, so it'll just be.
It'll be okay.
Yep. Check one thing. Looking at the right. Yep. Okay. So, table's now gone. So you got an empty gazebo. You get to the edge. Obviously, pushing it that far over the edge, you're gonna have to be right there, and that's where we end your turn. So yeah, something's going on there. Meanwhile, this creature, apparently just kind of bloodthirsty and not entirely certain what's going on, and maybe even unsure as to why this person didn't join them in their transformation, turns and actually attacks this one in just this bloodthirsty rage. Wish you could do sort of a tabbed view of character sheets. That'd be nice if Roll20 happens to be paying attention here. And she's going to actually... Yeah. So she grabs this guy by the shoulder and leans in, almost like she's going to kiss him. And then just is like... and spits this little gout of acidic spit in his nose and mouth. It's not like Alien's acidic, right? But it's really caustic. He starts to cough and goes down to the ground, at which point she seems to evaluate the situation, realizing he's all right. She's going to go to the next person which is going to be the doctor before she ends her turn. Alrighty, this one, John, is on you. So she is actually going to come at you once more with, or he, I'm sorry, is going to come at you once more with a claw slash. Oh, no. But sadly, critical failure is a must there. Tell me about the critical failure, John. So this thing comes at you with its weird, I don't know, bug claw thing.
Yeah, I imagine I just within seconds have just kicked back the chair and moved over. So I imagine this thing lunging at me just wasn't quite anticipating that chair being kicked out and me scurrying backwards.
Yep.
And just getting tangled like the bug that it is.
Yes, that is true. So it's going to be prone. I think I like that. So it gets tangled up in the chair, and as a reward for its failure, it'll be prone. It'll have to get out of that situation at the beginning of this round if you don't kill it first. Which, based on your track record, I don't know. Nate, you're okay. So the cool thing is, what I want to know is, what did the Nate camera see as Dobbs was walking over him pushing that table?
Yeah, so within the last 20 seconds, Nate has fallen out of his chair, and then like a train, this thing just kind of comes over my head until I see it sort of tip, and it goes over, and Dobbs is sitting there pushing it over. It's like, hey, he spits down the hole. Nate reaches a hand up and grabs Dobbs by the bottom of his elbow and pulls himself up to his feet, starts dusting off his duster, and I guess dinner's to go. And starts to, I guess, assess the situation around the room.
Okay, give me a notice check. Let me see if what all you get out of what's going on here.
You got it. Notice check.
Wow. So the wild die gives you ace there. So you pretty much have a just because you're that guy, you don't misinterpret anything that's going on. These two guys were slow to engage. It's as if they weren't really trying to get involved, but they are moving at this point. And they'll get turns at it at the end of this round. Excuse me. You see what's going on with this guy, and the doctor is now in danger. Chen seems to be moving toward Ash, but you don't get a menacing feeling there. He's drawn his swords.
Okay. So my cane is at my side. It's been expelled, so it's not like I can use it again. And I'm just going to stand close to Dobbs. I imagine Dobbs is looking sort of down at the bash table in the Reverend, and Nate is going to just kind of be eyeing the rest of the room in this direction, but standing next to Dobbs.
That sounds fantastic. Alrighty. Sorry. So we come back at this point to John. What are you doing?
After thanking my stars that that chair happened to be there, I'm basically just holstering the revolver real quick, fanning out the deck a little bit more, and putting a little more power into this. And I'm going to be charging and throwing out 3 cards. Two at the one that's prone in front of me, and then one that is in front of the doctor to hopefully kind of get the attention away from him.
Okay, got it. Give me those rolls.
Yeah, I had to read a lot of rules on this one to figure out exactly how this works, but I think I got it. So it's 3 separate rolls.
Yep.
So do you want to resolve one at a time?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So the first one against one on the ground.
Yeah,
these are also a max damage. These are 3 at 3d6.
Nice.
And I'm spending all my power.
So as this one is an extra, you would take it into wound category here. So you've basically no, I'm sorry, you're throwing 2 at it. Never mind. No. So it is shaken. You throw it and you see it light up, and it's kind of bloated skin shakes and then it kind of starts to bleed, but it's sort of cauterized, so it's a little bubbly. Give me the next one. And again, that's a hit. Max bolts.
Did it click?
Yeah, no one knows with roll 20 right now. Yeah. There it is. So tell me, what is the death note for this one? So that second one will actually take it into wound category, which is an extra, and it cannot take it.
Yeah, the first one, kind of hits it, cauterizes a bit. The second one just follows immediately after the second one, almost like one of those trick arrow type situations. And I just imagine smashing a cockroach, just a little more impactful, with the green card kind of exploding out, and then the just goo coming up and probably covering me. So.
Nice. I love that idea. Yeah, so you basically, it sinks into it and just explodes. And yeah, this stuff tastes really kind of sour, and it's very whatever. And then the third card, you said you were throwing at this one. Ooh.
Yep. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
You gonna do it?
Doctor to get hit here.
Okay. Nice. There you go. So the wild dice saves you there too. You're gonna be in bonus damage land. Jeez. All right. So it's gonna die right away. So you hit it in the temple as it kind of hears the scream of its companion, the sort of death scream, it right into its temple, and its head just explodes all over the doctor's white leather outfit, just like it falls down with a shrill gurgle. The doctor is there, just kind of wide-eyed, looking around in confusion. Do you want to do any movement or further actions?
No, I'm like, that's the most I've exerted myself in quite a long time, so I'm gonna just kind of like take a breather here for a second and just kind of bend over and assess my situation.
So there's this moment where time kind of slows down. You drop to your knee and you're there just breathing, like that's more magic than you've let run through your body in forever. That a boy. Now you learn. You look, and there's a very delicately manicured African American hand on your shoulder. Whether you see the cuff of his suit there. You know he's not there, but you feel him. And then, Ash, what do you do?
I imagine she hears some like horrible squelching sounds coming from behind her, and in alarm, like glances back and then just sees the remains of these creatures. Just kind of makes like very brief eye contact with John, just is like, and then just turns back to these other guys. She's gonna, she'll take a shot at this guy who's closer.
Yep.
I think so. This is shot number 3 on the revolver, so I will have to probably reload after a few more. So 9 to hit.
Yes, you will hit.
So that's what we like to hear.
Would you like to tell me how this guy dies? How about that?
Oh man, I feel like Ash is not in the mood to be like flavorful, so she's just doing headshots.
Oh yeah,
she's not messing around right now.
Nice. So just like a trick shot that you've done before, you're just like a pow, pow, pow. You turn, and this guy, he's kind of got this grimace, and it's almost like slow motion. His teeth just shatter, and it goes right in his mouth and out the back of his head as he does in fact die like he's supposed to. So that's cool. And then what? What do you do? Why can't I make an X over that guy? That's weird. Roll 20 is doing something weird. He's dead. So you turn and shoot this guy as well, or no? I'm not hearing audio, Len. Did I lose you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're there.
Yep.
Sorry, sometimes my mute button's a little bit shaky, but I was going to say, does this gentleman look as though he wants to continue this fight?
That's a fantastic question. I'm gonna let's have Nate, the king of psyche, give me a D4 roll. This is a spirit roll just to see how feisty he is. No, he doesn't. He as you turn to look at him, he kind of holds his hand up, and his hand's shaking enough that he loses his grip, drops the gun, it fires off into the distance, and just kind of looking at the whole situation, you see him mouth, fuck this, and just hauls ass back toward town. He's going to flee the situation.
Fine with me. I holster my pistol.
You feel...
Turn back to the rest of the crew.
As you turn back, there's a blade at your throat. You could have gotten yourself killed. Next time.
I don't think so. You gonna get that thing out of my face or what?
He smiles and puts it away, but you can tell there's concern in his eyes and very staunch disapproval, but he doesn't dare go any further with it. Dobbs, what are you doing? Saw this kapow, kapow, kapow crap going on.
I'll probably turn around and all I see is a bunch of guys laying on the ground. Like, I'm not used to like seeing a clear slate so much. So I guess I look at this guy over here that was sitting on the other side of the chick that had her throat cut open by Jennifer.
This guy here?
And yeah, I'm not really in a mood to play right now. I'm already angry. So
he's on the ground coughing and sputtering for some reason. You didn't catch exactly what happened. But yeah, right. he's on all fours as you walk up to him.
So I'm going to move over to there just, as fast as I can, really. I'm going to grab him by the scruff of the neck. And I was like, come on, you son of a bitch. You next to the train station.
No. Oh. You look. His eyes are just completely blood red. And his nose is inflamed and it's almost like tear gas. It's not, again, not like alien acid. He's helpless. As you pick him up, it's almost like a limp sack of shit in your hands. No! He's got all these big rings on, though, and fancy, like, fluffy, kind of fancy attire. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea. We serve the mayor, he says. Don't hurt me, please.
That's where I'm sending you. You're the mayor's man. Time to be with the mayor. And I just kind of drag him back towards the cliff by the scruff of his jacket.
No. I'm not even going to... Actually, you know what? Let's see if adrenaline helps him ignore the fact that this says Maggot Man. Actually, I'm changing his strength back to what it should be because he never changed.
Fighting or athletics or strength?
Strength, opposed strength, I think. Ooh, Maggot Man. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, Maggot Man got dragged.
Yeah, but it's surprisingly hard, and it's not even raw strength. Dobbs, it's just fear. He's scrambling so hard. You bring him over the edge. What do you do with him when you get him there?
Well, I kind of send him on his way.
Okay. Interestingly, that's good timing. So, Nate, as this is happening, I'm guessing you're kind of watching and just kind of like, yeah. So
it's much more disapproval. Yeah. Nate isn't quite speaking up. He's seen that look in Dobbs' eye before, but he doesn't exactly approve of what Dobbs is doing.
Okay. So just as Dobbs, you've got him and you're talking to him and you just, as you would, facing him, and you go to turn and throw him, and I'll be damned if the mayor doesn't crest the cliff. And you literally got this guy in your hands. He's standing still, right? Because he was fighting you. I'm going to let you finish your turn. What do you do there?
I probably would. Well, let me see. Let me roll a notice check to see if I see the look on Nate's face.
As you're approaching.
I do. I noticed the look of disapproval on Nate's face. So I'm going to drop the guy and just kind of pull up my sleeves and be like, all right, I guess I'll finish the first guy.
So this guy runs. I'm going to move him just so we don't have to think about him for a while. Like Olympic runner kind of run. All righty. So Dobbs, your action was kind of to drag him over and get ready for this fight. He comes up armed for the bear. He's ready to go, and he's actually going to, let me close some windows that I don't need. Make it easier to work these character sheets. Oops. Apparently the Kinsler boy ran for an inch here. All right, Mayor Maggot. Dobbs, you said you're Perry... What? Oh. All right, I got a decision to make. He's got one Benny, and I have a pool of 3. Remember that I can spend on anything I want. I think he's got a score to settle with you, Dobbs. I think he's going to do it. He's going to spend his last Benny and go all in. Whoa. And he's going to hit with his wild die. Damage-wise, though.
Toughness 7.
Nope, isn't going to do it. Tell me about that. Why don't you succumb to this wound? I mean, he's a heavy hitter too. So tell the stream how you resist that.
I probably put Jennifer up at just the right time that he comes down on the brace that holds Jennifer in my arm, thinking that he's hitting me, and he hits the brace of Jennifer and just stops.
Yes. Yeah, so you hold him up. You got Jennifer still gleaming with the sort of blood and ichor and whatever else. I should say glistening, not gleaming. Nice. Okay. So let me get rid of these turns that are in my way. Nate, that brings it to you. You've been watching all along. You see this thing come over the side. What do you do?
I pat Dobbs on the shoulder real quick, just a quick pat of approval. And I make my way over to the doc, who, for whatever reason, is still in his chair from dinner. Table gone. He's just sitting there.
I think that's
covered
right.
in goo, though.
Because he is literally in shock. I think that's right. I like that.
He's just like, can I get another round of drinks?
Yeah.
Come on, doc. I think it's time we get you out of here. And I'm just going to kind of put an arm around his shoulder. I'm going to try to move him away. Just kind of coaxing him in this direction away from the big fight.
No, he says. As he will.
Knew you was going to say that.
He stands and he reaches at his side. He pulls his own puny little revolver and points at the bad guy. You must fight with me. Eh?
All right, let's fight. But as Nate's saying that, and he's like, okay, let's do this, you see him sort of stepping behind John. And so now John is the one that's between him and the monster.
Okay, so the doctor kind of turns. He's surveying what's going on. That brings us to John as Nate approaches you and kind of slides in behind you. What are you doing? You're down on one knee still. Like, you're kind of recovered at this point, though.
Yeah, after seeing in my kind of peripheral, this thing go off a cliff and now come back up a cliff and still just nail Dobbs, I am going to go literally for broke and do a deal with the Manitou? Deal with the devil, essentially.
Yep. How does that work?
I draw a poker hand, so I get 5 cards plus 1 because of my grit. And make the best hand out of it, and then there's a table I compare it against, and then if I get enough points, I'll be able to do the same attack I just did, essentially. If I can't make any hand, then there's a backfire table you have to use.
So I need to give you how many cards?
6 cards.
Let me see.
Let me just get the backfire table ready, just in case.
Yeah, let me turn this off. Gonna send it to John Ivy. You're gonna have 5 cards that pollute your view in Roll20 if this works the way it's supposed to. Here it goes. I can't see them, so you tell us what you got.
5 aces.
Oh,
weird.
I have a. Oh, I need one more card actually.
You need one more
because it's
okay.
5 plus the 1 from my grit. So.
Okay, got it. I'll deal one more, and you can. I think you can throw them on the table. That'll make a bit of a disaster of the view, but it'll be good for the cinematics. One more card coming to you. Got it?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Can you see that?
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, I can.
I don't see it on stream.
Yeah, I don't see it on stream either. That's weird.
Which is weird.
Just be catching up.
It could be. Let me see. Can I show it to players? That's weird. The rest of you guys can see it, but the stream can't. Because I'm logged in as a player account. Oh.
Wait, why do I have... The second 5 of hearts came off twice somehow.
I have no idea.
Okay, so I got 2 pair. So I don't believe that backfired. Let me get to the page. It's 86. I got 2 pairs, so that gives me 4 power points. Excess power points are lost. So I had 3 total. I was trying to spend 6 total, so that means I I only have to spend 2 of my own. So good. The devil, I beat the devil in a hand of poker. Granted, I did get an extra card because of my grit. And I don't, have to get any terrible things happening to me. So that's nice. I am going to hurl 3 bolts at the mayor.
3 bolts at the mayor. I wish you could have seen these cards. That's a cool dynamic. I'm going to delete those now. And are you done with them?
Yep. All good.
Cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I was excited I get to use that.
Like it a lot.
Awesome. Worried about using it, but it worked out.
We'll get there. So I picture there is this moment where you very quickly are dealing cards, right? You're almost kind of doing it yourself, and then you feel this rush of power, just kind of, but there's also an anger on the other side of this arrangement, like a growing frustration. This isn't the first time you've beat it. And when you lose, boy, will it ever be excited. But go ahead, throw your cards as you now. Does that take an action? How does that work? I guess it probably must.
It's a free action that technically kind of stops time and technically can take as long as it needs to. But kind of just warps back, and then
nice.
I think it's more of if it backfires, then there might be a longer time difference depending on what happens.
So I think your card game is against the man in the suit, right? But there's behind him, and there's always this lingering presence that's waiting. Like it won't be him that you meet when you lose.
Yep.
Right. Cool. Okay. So give me your roll to attack this critter.
Okay. Do you want all 3 up front?
Sure.
Okay.
So 6 will hit, 13 will hit with bonus damage, 17 will hit as well. Oh, okay. So the 6 will hit. The first one is non-bonus damage, right? So that's 5. That does not beat toughness. So, but you catch it. So Tubbs is there as always, just kind of like, I'm gonna beat your ass or whatever. You fling the card over his shoulder, and it kind of skitters off of his shoulders, sparking everywhere. The next one though is gonna have some bonus damage. So that's 14 to 1. Yeah, that does it. So the next one, why does it make him shaken? What is that? What happens?
I think it's just the fact that he hasn't been hit by anything of magic before. This was, the first one caught him off guard and kind of opened him up to maybe a bit of fear, and then the second one left him vulnerable, just nailing him in the kind of throatish area of whatever bug has, thorax.
Depending on how you define this critter. Yeah, so you do a wound at this point. I'm sorry, he would be shaken at this point. So he's just kind of back, and then the second one will have bonus, or the third one will have bonus damage as well, because you have ace. Whoa. Okay. So he'll remain shaken, and he will actually take 2 wounds at this point. So he is just soaked in his own ichor, and the kind of sparks and magic leaking out of the wound as he starts to push backward. Any movement or anything else, John, since you stopped time?
No, I'm basically almost prone at this point. I'm on my knees and on the ground. I'm just like, oh my god,
okay,
I can't keep this up.
Got it. Ash, so there's this exchange between you and Chen, and then you hear this roar, right? And you're like, what the hell? And all this stuff is kind of happening as you're soaking it in. What do you do?
She just looks over at Chen and just goes, I'm getting too damn old for this. And then she will hop back up on the gazebo and just see if she can shoot this thing back off the cliff.
Okay. Give me that roll.
11.
Yep. So you will hit it. Yep, you will hit it. Give me a damage roll. Ooh, not quite. So you hit it, but you hit it in kind of a weird sort of thick spot. And part of it is just moving erratically as it's dealing with its own wounds. You're not sure what happens, but it doesn't seem to have any real serious effect.
Can I take... this is my last shot before I have to reload, I do believe. But I will try and hit it one more time.
I'll let you do it. Yep. -2, I think. Well, you probably have edges that make that not so bad.
I've got steady hands, but I think that only... I'll pop it in the chat. I don't think it actually applies to second shot.
-1 when running, that's nice. Okay, yeah, so you're -2.
Oof, not good.
Any bennies?
I got 3 to go, so I will spend a Benny, and I will try that one more time.
I love how you save them up to the very end and you just like Benny murder everybody. Didn't do it though.
Not today.
Yeah, nope. So you shoot the second shot. This thing's just moving too erratically, and despite the fact that it's kind of not really able to do much butt move at the moment until it resolves its shaking. That brings us to Dobbs. Dobbs, what do you do?
Well, I suppose it's that time again.
Is that what you say?
I'm gonna pretty much bring some hammer time to him.
Okay.
Boom.
You're gonna? Are you fighting him? Are you literally? What?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like unload on him with flurry of blows. Or just maybe try to hit him with an uppercut since he's like probably hunched over.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, yeah, that wild die brings a 10 against his 7 parry. So yeah, you hit him for sure. Give me damage. So his skin is so rubbery and hard. It's like really hard formed rubber, and you hit it, it actually hurts your knuckles. You don't do much to him. Although maybe you do. He's already kind of shaking.
Can I spend a Benny to reroll damage?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's my last one. Oh. How about that?
Okay, that's a little different. All right. So he's down, and you literally he's kind of like, again, like more like think of him as like a little Hydra creature or something, right? Like some serpentine abomination. You catch him right under his chin though, and send him sailing backwards over the cliff this time, too far for him to reach and grapple. And you watch, the camera follows him down, and he just lands on a rock, and he just folds over it like silly putty, just like, and is instantly still. Just.
And I go, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Nice. That ends our combat.
That's the Christmas episode's title, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Holy.
Or should it be Yippee-ki-yay, Merry Christmas?
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, Merry Christmas.
I like that.
So things are quiet except for your pulse, just as it does drumming in your temples. Dobbs, what do? You see him down there. He's definitely dead. Wow. You don't know anything about any regeneration or whatever, but he is spread across this rock in a way that's not even natural.
I do what Dobbs would do. I spit on him.
Yeah. Nate, you're there with John. You saw this last exchange, right? You saw this flurry of magic, leaving John after a moment of him just almost being vacant, for a split second. But he looks worse for the wear. What do you do now?
I turned to the doc and I said, "Oh man, I was just gonna." Well, John got him, and I try to lighten the mood, but I can tell, knowing John for a long time, that he's not doing so well. So I put out a hand. Come on, John, on your feet.
John, how overwhelmed are you? Are you able to operate? Or are you just sapped?
Still breathing. It ain't much, but it's enough. And I'm not going to be super useful for probably a little while here, but
so Dr. Alexander approaches with his Icor on. He kind of walks up to you and he straightens your jacket, pats you. Very nice. Chew this, he says, and he holds up this brown wad of something. You chew.
Sure. Now the weirdest thing we've seen today. And I take it.
He pats you on your chest. You feel so much better, except that you feel too much better within moments.
Oh boy.
You feel like you just had a 5-hour energy and smoked a giant bowl of something serious. You're much better. He's a doctor after all.
Thanks, Doc.
Yes, he says.
Ash, you get some of this stuff when he's patching you up?
Hey, now y'all handing out some goodies over there, Doc? Well, throw some my way. And she winks at him, but it's like really bad.
No, he says.
All right then.
Yes, John's addicted to meth now. That's exactly. So you are recovered. Chen, as you're there, he kind of. I am indebted to you now. You broke my bond. That thing saved my life.
You mean that big old bug?
That was not his original form. He aspired to be that. He was sick. He killed the mayor of Maggot Gap. He knew what the sand maggot could do. If prepared correctly, it can give you many powers. If not prepared fully correctly, it could turn you into that. This is what I want to talk to you about, says the doctor. I think I could make serum. Might help fight, he says. But if you get it wrong...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, he says, but if you get it wrong, and then you say, you mean, and he stops talking. So go ahead, Nate.
That whole deal with the sandworm was so these guys could have dinner?
I suppose you could say it that way. Sandworm has, I don't know, some chemical, something in blood in it. They take to beneath the church and they prepare it like food or drink. It glows. He's been trying for a long time.
They weren't vampires, though.
What? He says.
Nate pulls out a 5 and hands it over to John. You was right. They weren't vampires.
Listen, y'all were cutting deals about vampire bets and you didn't even let me in on it. I'm offended. Honestly.
We thought you were a bit upset with the whole can't drink situation. Didn't want to tip you over.
Girls gotta do something to pass the time, especially when she ain't drinking. Speaking of which, start looking around the rubble for like an unbroken bottle.
Oh, I would have to guess that you look around and you find flasks on a couple of the dead bodies and some bullets as well, since you're running a little low.
Chen, I want to check, see if it's glowing first.
I take your meaning. I will be diligent.
Chen turns to Dobbs and kind of walking over. I guess you'd probably be back over here at this point. You are lucky. He was going to skin you alive.
Luck don't got nothing to do with it, Chan.
You say this. You must understand you are strong, but there are many stronger. And you have something that only one possesses. You lack only one thing that would lead you to that mine.
But see, the four of us, we share a bond stronger than any bond they'd ever have. The bond of desperation and family.
Give yourself a Benny, please.
We's all the only family we've ever gotten. And ain't nothing gonna break that bond.
I was taken
He's
from
also
my
got
family.
Jennifer.
I was taken from my family when I was but a child. And I have seen many others taken from theirs. I admire you. But what you seek is suicide. You should run.
See, you were taken from your family, and that makes you a strong man, I'm sure. But see, when I was a child, my family was taken from me. and that'll make you stronger, man.
I have no words. We'll figure it out. We're going to end the stream right here.